Once again, Driftheads, welcome to another year, 2016. And ladies and gentlemen, this year we got upgraded. I introduced to you the lovely Miss Attractive, Marsha Harris. How are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. How are you doing, Vic?
I'm much better that I've got some female girl power company for all you gents. I know this is a much better site to look at than myself, so we're going to try and keep you glued to our screens. Marsha would like to welcome to the 2016 Supadrift Series.
Thank you so much, Vic. I appreciate it, and I'm really excited to be here.
Absolutely, it's a great place to be. Guys, we've had over 33 drivers here today. Unfortunately, 3 cars have already broken. We're left with about 29 cars traveling from all sorts of African continent, Mozambique, Namibia, guys traveling all the way from Cape Town, PE. Everybody's come through down here to Redstar, which is down the road from Delmas, to compete for round number 1. Guys are about to have a driver's briefing. I'm going to hand this wonderful mic over to Marsha. She's going to keep you entertained. Myself and her, we're going to be bouncing in between the camera. Hope these guys are ready. We're going to deliver a jam-packed show just for you fanatics.
For 2016, the Supadrift Series once again returned to Redstar Raceway out in Delmas. The strip of tar is notorious for its bike racing, but it would be the screams of tyres and cars that would warm the heart and get everybody excited as round 1 for 2016 Supadrift Series kicked off. Qualifying saw a number of competitors take to the track. George Myberg was out in his Alice-powered Nissan Silvia S14A with new livery and a new sponsor. GT Radial on board for George Myberg for the 2016 season. The Berserker was warming hearts around the track, throwing out plumes of smoke and putting together a very tidy qualifying. Joey Govender took to the track in his Nissan 200SX S13 Toyota-powered machine this. He was doing it for AutoZone. Joey Govender was struggling with the long left-hander that first corner, taking it a little too hot and dropping 2 wheels in the dirt. That hurt his chances there. He tried to recover, but the damage was done. Too little, too late. Des Goodside for Desi Raceway and Dunlop debuted a new machine. Yet again, another V8-powered Nissan Skyline R34, but this time it was a 2-door coupe. Des Goodside was also battling with that first corner, on occasion running wide and dropping wheels in the dirt. We saw this happen in his qualifying, and it was sadly to his detriment. Paolo Gaveio putting in a strong charge for 2016, coming out with the proverbial guns blazing. Another one running a very special combination, a Nissan RB30 motor, so a 3-litre straight 6 as opposed to the 2.5s that we'd see. He was also behind the wheel of the Prepsol and Vehicle Inc. Nissan 200SX. A very tidy qualifying run set him up nicely going into the top 16. Duriel Olsen in the V8 Smarty Box, as it's affectionately known, is a candy-coloured Olsen wheel E30 BMW. He battled a little bit with the motor in practice, but it started coming together in qualifying, and Duriel managed to put together what seemed like a fairly decent qualifying run. Matthijs Nordieni's V8-powered E36 BMW was another one sporting new colours. New sponsors on board for Matthijs Nordier. He was hoping to impress both the judges, the crowd, and his new sponsors. Fayaz Alibi came out. Oh, this was a man on a mission. He had something to prove. His Toyota 2JZ GTE powered Nissan Skyline R33 was making all the right noises and looked very, very good in the early start of his qualifying run. Sadly, the wheels fell off halfway through the run and it saw him reversing into his own tyre smoke. It was new colours for Rian Stokes as well. It was welcoming to see him back at the track, this time supported by Dragon Energy. His Nissan 200SX S13 is powered by a Lexus 1UZ FE motor. That's the 4-litre Lexus V8. and it showed that it was firing on all 8 cylinders as Rion Stokes destroyed a set of tyres in qualifying. It was a tidy run, but whether it would impress the judges or not was yet to be seen. Making his Supadrift debut, Freddie Cooper Jr. trekked all the way from Polokwane to come out in his Cooper drifting Nissan Skyline R33. Powered by an RB25 motor, Freddie Cooper is a regular on the Rock Raceway circuit. He showed that he has what it takes to do the long sweeping turns of Redstar Raceway and piece together a very respectable qualifying pass.
Hi everybody, the day is far from over. We're just going into the top 16 now. Still lots of excitement. Let's see how this plays out.
Shane Guzike takes pole position with Freddie Cooper Jr. in second place. George Myberg secures third, while Matthijs Nordier cracks a top 10. Ozzy Raiden's also in the top 16, coming in at 14th position. First battle to take to the tarmac, Faya's Alibi in the R33 Skyline going up against the Z32 300ZX of JP van der Spey, who's also sporting a little bit of Dragon Energy sponsorship there. It's the first time out for JP van der Spey in this vehicle. Seemed to be struggling a little bit. Run 2 saw JP van der Spey leading, but Faya's Alibi buying a plot, going farming. Left, right and centre, there wasn't a section of the track where Faya's didn't go exploring, it seems. Gift wrapped, handed it over to JP van der Spey. Flag drop confirmed it. It was JP van der Spey going through to the top 8. Oh, we saw Vic Pardell, who was doing double duty as MC and driver, go up against George Myberg. George Myberg leading that first run. And Vic Pardell running a new 2JZ GTE setup in his E36. Seemed to be struggling to get to grips with it though. I fear not enough seat time before going into round 1 for Vic Pardell. No worries, there'll be a second time round. Getting a little bit of mileage for his Southside Crew signage there as he stalls pretty much in front of the main grandstands and the judges for that fact. Run 2 had Vic Pardell out in front. George Myberg was now doing the chasing, the big LS powered S14. I don't think would have any problem keeping the pace that Vic Pardell was showing into and around the first corner. Indeed, George Myberg closing up the gap and showing fantastic proximity, although dropping back a little bit on the switch and the rear clipping zone. Plumes of smoke from both of them, but Vic Pardell showing that with a clear track in front of him, he can indeed hold his own. Now it was the judges' call, and the judges said, well, after 10-0, it's going to go the way of George Myberg. Jim McFarlane in the Achilles Tyres Nissan 350Z was to lead Brendan Purin in the GT Logistics and Purin Plant Hire E46 BMW of Brendan Purin. Jim McFarlane showed a very tidy line on his lead run, but Brendan Purin certainly wasn't far off the pace. He might not have had the proximity, but he was running a very, very similar line with similar angle. Run 2 would put Brendan Purin out in front. Now Jim McFarlane got it all crossed up as Brendan Purin ran it wide. Brendan Purin signaling there with his hand, so clearly knowing that there was a bit of a problem with that run. Jim McFarlane still battling with that front end grip. It's runs like these that make it very tough to judge. Well, there we go, one more time. Send the drivers back to the start line. Both of you ran absolutely atrociously, so let's see that again. Come, no more messing about, drive like you mean it. Once again, in the one more time, it would just be a repeat. Jim McFarlane out in front, dialing in a fair amount of angle, but Brendan Purin showing pace and angle. He takes a slightly lower line there just to close the gap on Jim McFarlane as we slow things down. Run 2 would see Jim McFarlane applying a little more pressure, knowing that this is the last ditch effort if he wanted to make his way through to the top 8. This time round, it's a clean run and very good runs from both of them, but the win can only go to one, and this time it's Jim McFarlane. Rion Stokes in that Dragon Energy Nissan 200 SX goes up against the Nissan Silvia S14A of Richard Khan. Powered by a Toyota 2JZ GTE motor, Richard Khan is certainly quick. Richard Khan is reigning champion of round 1 here at Redstar Raceway, having taken the 2015 round win. He was out here all the way from Maputo, Mozambique with a point to prove. After a tidy first run, one would say that Richard Khan had the slight advantage, but round 2 would have Rion Stokes out in front. Now with Rion Stokes in front, he could dictate the pace, the line and the angle, and Richard Khan would have to try and copy. This did make it a bit of a challenge, and a very, very tidy battle unfolds. So tight, in fact, that they send back to the start line. It's OMT one more time for Richard Khan and Rion Stokes Dragon Energy versus Full Boost Performance. Beautiful, beautiful drifting in as early a round as the top 16. Oh, you'd need a knife to separate the two of them. Beautiful drifting from both these drivers. Old hands at the game, but it's Richard Khan that walks away with the flag win. Top 8 is his. Zanil Satar, also from Maputo, Mozambique, going up against the all-BMW combination of Matthijs Nordia. The Toyota 2JZ GTE-powered Nissan Silvia S15 of Drift Devils. Zanil Satar showing that he has the pace to outrun the V8 BMW. Matthijs Nordia also losing the drift there, costing him valuable points. Down to run 2, Matthijs Nordia out in front, and once again this is where the leader has the advantage. He dictates the pace. So seeing how quick Zanil Satar is, we'd have to find out, could he do the same at a slightly slower speed?
Matthijs Nordia keeps it wide. Zanil sacrifices the angle and the shallow line to keep up to Matthijs Nordia. Very nice run.
Vic Podell calling it well, but it's Zanil Satar that takes the flag. He's in the top 8. Next up, another interesting battle. Des Goodzeit for Desi and Dunlop in the R34 Skyline, up against the Rocket Bunny kitted Nissan 200 SX Sean February, originally from Cape Town and still very much Cape Town based, now living out in Bronkhorstspruit. This was actually the first time that he had driven the car, well, the practice for round 1. So this was a completely new vehicle and setup for Sean February. Many will remember him from his E30 BMW days. So he was quite keen to put in a showing here and show that with a Nissan underneath his bum, he can do it all. Sean February dialed in great angle and showed some tidy aggression. And as it turned out, it was quite a battle between him and Des Goodzeit. Of course, also sporting a new machine. Oh, there we go, so close that the judges call it a one more time. Back to the start line they go. Very tough for a driver. Once you've had a one more time, you realize that your best sometimes just ain't good enough and you need to step out of your comfort zone. You see Sean February running wide, quite well out of his comfort zone there. Des Goodzeit though steps up to the plate and tucks the nose of that Skyline in, but it costs him dearly as he runs wide and off the track. A risky gamble that hasn't paid off. The final pass of the one more time. Des Goodzeit already on the back foot, but Sean February getting up close and personal straight off the bat there. Oh, moment of contact there between Sean February and Des Goodzeit. Throws them a little bit off the game. It's instances like this where the rulebook has to get pulled out, and it makes it very difficult to call. One thing's for sure though, the crowd certainly loves it. Oh, Sean February gets the flag. He's in the top 8. Des Goodzeit relegated to the pits.
Sean, I have just witnessed one of the epicest, if that is a word, I'll invent it, epicest drift battles I've ever seen. You and Des Goodzeit threw it down, man. Epic battle. What were you feeling inside that car?
I don't know. So after the one more time, I just thought I'm going to go out guns blazing. And we took a year to build a new car. And I thought I'm not gonna come here to play. So I went out gun blazing, I didn't know back, and outcome was the best.
Let me tell you, I got to congratulate you. You won, you've gone through to the top 8. Do you think you can maybe take a podium away today?
That's the plan, but we're struggling with the setup of the new car. But we'll see how the day goes, and hopefully the car stays together, and I'll try my best.
To all the young fanatics right there from Mitchell's Plain supporting you, the young kids that have got pictures of you and your car on their rooms, what advice do you have for them?
Never give up, always persist, and stay away from drugs and gangsterism, and do what you love.
Paulo Gouveia for Prepsol and Vehicle Inc. up against Ozzy Raiden. Ozzy Raiden coming all the way from Komatipoort, so a bit of a drive, but not as far as Joburg. Paulo Gouveia showing that he has been practicing in the off-season, lighting it up, smoking Ozzy Raiden out there, and Ozzy Raiden succumbing to that quick pace of Paulo Gouveia, running wide and dropping the wheels in the dirt. Run 2 sees Ozzy Raiden out in front. His mismatched wheels there. Paulo Gouveia would now be trying to apply the pressure. Oh, pressure is exactly what he applied, and felt the nudge as the two of them make contact. Ozzy Raiden running wide, going in just too fast. The moment just a little too big. Sorry, Ozzy. Paulo Gouveia, quite a comfortable and foregone conclusion there. He'd take the win, and he'd be in the final 8. Another crowd favourite, Zain Hussein, went out up against the Toyota Sora of Gavin Purin, doing it for GT Logistics and Purin Plant Hire. Zain Hussein doing it for Kingsway Racing. Beautiful sounding machines this, and certainly a run that you just sit and watch. Run number 2 putting Gavin Purin out in front. Would see the big Toyota 2JZ GTE powered Skyline of Zain Hussein fighting hard to keep up. Oh, but just look how he closes that gap. Having to tuck inside of the smoke just to be able to see his way around the track. Whoops, that went... well, that didn't go well. No damage as Zain Hussein climbs out of Gavin's car. A retirement from Zain Hussein, so once again another foregone conclusion here. Zain Hussein taking it like a true champ that he is, and still enjoying the moment, giving the crowd something to smile and laugh about, it seems, as he tries to get in the way of our flag girl and Gavin Purin. Zain, that's not nice. But smiles all around as the guys jokingly play it off. Fantastic camaraderie in the Supadrift series.
We are done with top 16 and the excitement is still very high. We're going here into the top 8 now. Let's see how this is going to play out for the top 4.
In your top 8 we have Shane Goodside, George Myberg, Jim McFarlane, Richard Kahn, Zaniel Satar, Sean February, Paulo Gouveia and Gavin Purin. With all the drivers vying for those final 4 spots, they were pushing super hard. George Myberg, pushing just that little bit too hard. Running wide there and handing it over to Shane Goodside virtually on a silver platter. George, how can you do that? Now all that George Myberg can hope for is that Shane Goodside would make a chronic error, spin off the track, hit a clipping point, spin out, something of the sorts, because that would render it a one more time and he could do battle again in that rerun. Sadly, not to be. Shane Goodside firing on all cylinders, ripping it up properly, and positioning that Nissan Silvia of his with pinpoint precision. More than enough to take a semi-final position. Shane Goodside into the final 4. Next 2 drivers battling it out for a spot in the semis, Jim McFarlane and Richard Kahn. Richard Kahn leading the onslaught here. Jim McFarlane needing to do the chasing. Runs a beautifully high line. Does Jim McFarlane. It's then followed by Richard Kahn. Jim McFarlane closing the gap as well, pulling up alongside. Door to door, mirror to mirror, tidy drifting between these 2 stalwarts. On board here with Richard Kahn. It doesn't seem too fast, but 130, 140 kilometers an hour and pulling up the handbrake to put the car sideways. trust me, it's pretty scary. Jim McFarlane running quite a creative line, but Richard Kahn diving on the inside. He'd no doubt be penalised points for that. But he manages to stick close to Jim McFarlane. Another very, very tight run involving these two. So tight, in fact, that it's an OMT. First run of the OMT sees Jim McFarlane understeering like an absolute donkey there. Richard Kahn on the money, not setting a foot wrong. Jim McFarlane clutching back way too late in that run, and Richard Kahn taking a spot in the semis. Paolo Gouveia and Gavin Purin doing battle here. Both of them KZN boys straggling it out. Gavin Purin applying some pressure, but Paolo Gouveia pretty quick on the switches. Not much separating them after run 1. Let's see what run 2 would hold. Whoa, Paolo Gouveia. Tons and tons of understeer there for him, and of course the judges regarding understeer as a complete loss of control. It's as good as a spin. So this one was sitting pretty for Gavin Purin. Yep, the flag confirmed that Gavin Purin would be the second driver into the semi-finals. Sean February doing battle up against Zanil Sitar. Cape Town versus Maputo, Mozambique. S13 versus S15, and whoa, a little bit of front-end loss there for Sean February. Zanil Sitar just setting and forgetting that angle. Not a single quiver or a waver from his angle. Sean February still a little green in that car, it seems. But a good run from Zanil Sitar. See what run 2 holds. Oh, Zanil Sitar now picking up a little bit of understeer. Well, I'm no mathematician, but that's looking like it may just be a 10-0-0-10. Oh, Zanil Sitar thinning out again, but Sean February also running off. Oh, a comedy of errors here between these two. And now, as it would turn out, it would be 0-0 for both of them. The judges would call her one more time, but Sean February would end up retiring.
Welcome back. This is it. We're going into the top 4 with the likes of Shane, Richard, Zanil, and Gavin. Guys, some good competition going on. Let's see who goes through to the finals.
It's never nice progressing due to one of your opponents' misfortune, but hey, Zanil Sitar's up there. 3 of these drivers would end up on the podium, and the one would be walking home with, well, the consolation prize. First battle out, Shane Goodside for Desi and Dunlop Racing, Nissan Sylvia S15 up against the Full Boost Performance, Sylvia S14A of Richard Kahn, a heavyweight slugfest, and in fact, if I'm not mistaken, a repeat of the 2015 final. Oh, when the cameras can't even see the car through the smoke, you know it's a good run. Run 2 has Richard Kahn out in front. Shane Goodside now needs to dial in some angle, crank up the speed, and make sure he pulls up alongside Richard Kahn. No problems there. Tidy run showing why these two drivers deserve to be in the final 4. Yep, one more time, as I suspected, back to the start line they'll go. Each driver lives to fight another day. Shane Goodside will once again lead the first run of the OMT, and one more time, Richard Kahn will do the chasing. Now they need to step up to the plate, push past their comfort zone, out of the envelope, and Richard Kahn pushes too hard, runs it wide, puts it in the dirt. Thank you very much, says Shane Goodside as he slays a set of Dunlop tyres. Richard Kahn knows his number's up. We'll save the tyres, save the motor, drive around and get a little mileage for his signage. Oh, run 2 once again, the last efforts, dying efforts of a man with nothing to lose. Richard Kahn already on the back foot. He just has to hope that Shane Goodside makes a mistake, but as we know, that seldom happens, and it wasn't going to happen here. This was Shane Goodside's run. The second semi-final has Zanil Sitar up against Gavin Purin. Neither of them slow, but we know that Zanil Satar capable of dialing in some impressive angle. Well, Gavin Piran pushing hard but seeming to struggle to match the pace of Zanil Satar. Quite a long way back for what is a semi-final battle. That's okay, run number 2 has him leading and dictating the pace. He just needs to fend off the onslaught from Zanil Satar, who is also no stranger to a little bit of rubbing. And it would be Gavin Piran that gets the flag, progresses through to the finals. Zanil Satar would battle it out here against Richard Khan in the battle for 3rd place. Whoever wins this one is on the final step of the podium. Whoever loses it, well, can load the car and go home. They've taken 4th place. That said, it's still not going to stop the drivers from fighting it tooth and nail. And in fact, we've seen some of our best runs in this 3rd and 4th place battle. Run 1, well, you weren't going to separate them by much. Run 2, it seems like Zanil Satar, oh, taking a very, very low line there, while Richard Khan still managing to take the higher advantage line, scoring a couple of extra points, no doubt. Here we go. Who would it be? Who would take 3rd position for round 1 of the Superdrift Series 2016? Richard Khan! Final step of the podium. Podium 2 years in a row for Richard Khan, and Fubu's performance.
This is it. We're going to the top 2 finals with Gavin Piran and Shane Goodside. Let's see what happens.
Oh, certainly a special place here for Gavin Piran, fighting it out early in the year. Guaranteed spot on the podium, but now with the win in his grasp, would he be able to pull out all the stops? Shane Goodside piecing together an absolutely picture-perfect run there. Not much to separate them, although Gavin Piran was a little behind. Gavin Piran leading, Shane Goodside now doing the chasing. And straight from the word go, we see considerably better proximity from Shane Goodside, tacking in there a little bit closer. Okay, a lot closer than what Gavin was. And both drivers just slaying tyres. What a fantastic run. A brilliant, brilliant end to this first round of the Superdrift Series 2016. Drivers out of the cars, congratulating each other, smiles all round. But who would it be? It's Shane Goodside for Desi and Dunlop Racing, while Gavin Piran takes 2nd position.
How did you do today? Please tell us, how did you do?
Yeah, so it's a brand new car. We took it out for the first time, and everything seems to be running well. I unfortunately didn't qualify in top 16. I made the Silver Cup, but I took the 1st place for Silver Cup as well.
Wow, well done. Who was your competitor?
Fayaz Alibi, the one sponsoring this event, sponsoring the trophy for this event, and he's a real champion.
Oh, well done. How long have you been drifting?
I'm going on my 3rd year now.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been one of the most greatest finals in the Superdrift history. We got the underdog, the one and only Gavin Piran, representing GT Logistics as well as Piran Plant Hire. You were definitely the underdog. You fought, clawed, and bit your way all the way to the final with the big man himself, Shane Goodside, who's a regular on the podium position. Did he intimidate you in any way?
No, not today. Yes, my car's behaving and was a new suspension thanks to my sponsors. Yes, my car was just perfect today and I wasn't intimidated by anyone.
That's what we like to hear from an underdog. Now, Gavin, you know, people when they tend to go up against like superstars, they start thinking, oh, you know, I've already lost this race. How was your mindset when you went into the final with him?
Yes, I was just blank today. Just went and gave it all out and didn't overthink anything, kept it cool, and yeah.
Any advice to all the underdogs, the small guys, the guys that don't have such big budgets? What advice do you have to them? Because today you are sitting on the podium position.
But I think anybody can do it. It's like we've come from nowhere in a year and a half, whatever, we've been doing it, and here we stand today, proud team, me and my butt, and yes, it's the best sport ever. You can't beat it.
He's super happy. Once again, my name is Vic Pardal, standing next to Gavin Piran. Hit the number 2 spot. Epic battle with Shane Goodside. But yeah, Shane taking top honors today.
Shane Goodside. I'm saying that name because you are the winner of today. Congratulations. How are you feeling?
Oh, stoked, eh? It's been a long time, probably a year and a half since my last win. I can't really remember. So, you know, there's been a few podiums mixed in there, and thankfully I've started the year off with first place. So very happy.
Definitely. I mean, it's a very good start. So what are you going to do further on for the rest of the year? Or, you know, what do you think you're going to do differently? Or we're just going to keep it the same?
We'll try and stay, you know, keep it consistent. I think that's what played its part today. And there's one or two tricks up the sleeve. You know, the Desi Raceway and the Desi team have done a phenomenal job on the car. It's been unbelievably reliable, and there's one or two more things we've got left in the tank. So we'll work on that this year. And obviously, I mean, huge thanks to Desi and the whole team, and Steve Clark and the guys, and Dunlop Tyres, obviously, you know, shredding tyres all day here. The guys are just phenomenal. So huge thanks to Desi and to Dunlop and the whole crew, and obviously my wife and family. You know, you guys have been here and supported me, so huge thanks to you guys as well.
Once again, congratulations. You can definitely learn from this guy, and we are looking forward to see your next performance. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. Cheers, guys.
Smiles all round for all the podium finishers, and Shane Goodzeit also taking the Riaz Alibi Memorial Floating Trophy.
Once again, thank you very much for joining us here at Supadrift Round 1 for the 2016 opener. Myself and Marsha Harris keeping you entertained during the course of the day. Make sure you catch us in Cape Town for round 2 of the season opening of 2016 season. Bam, just like that, we out of here.
Supadrift out.
Let's take a look at your championship points after round 1. Shane Goodzeit naturally on top of it. He's going to be looking to continue this trend throughout the year.